Hello and salutations, it's me, Salty. Welcome back to 2 Cents West, and today we're going over the Marvel Legends Nimrod 3-pack. This is an Amazon exclusive, and I got it weeks ago. I'm just now getting around to it. As you may have seen on my Instagram, if you follow me there, I have a huge pile of figures I'm trying to work my way through, and just kind of more or less picking them at random, and I decided to pick this one next. Looking at the box, you see we get Phantomex, Nimrod, and Psylock. Bunch of accessories for all of them. Silver kind of outline on the box with the X-Men logo. I may be missing an accessory for Phantomex, or it might be somewhere in the bottom of the box. I don't know yet. Guess we'll find out. Top of the box says Marvel Legends with an X-Men logo. This side of the box is Phantomex. Other side of the box is Psylock. And the back of the box is all three. All that out of the way, I'm going to get them open. We'll go over articulation. We'll do a side-by-side with the other Psylock that I have. I don't have the original Phantomex. We'll just be doing articulation on them, and we'll do a comparison with her. And we'll call it a day after that. Starting off with the Phantomex accessories we have as guns. They are both identical and cast in this kind of gray-silver-ish. So they're just handguns. They do have a port on the front, which you can plug in this blast accessory, which we saw on this channel at least with the War Machine very recently. I think they're also with the Deluxe Black Widow, but I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have that figure. So we have seen these before, same color even. And we also have the steam coming out of the barrel. So we saw those also with War Machine. The two are not identical inside the package, but they are the same as War Machines, just so you can see the two of them. Again, I think we also got these with the Deluxe Black Widow, but I don't have a side-by-side for that. They fit in his hands just fine, and they fit snugly down into the holsters on his legs. Next up, we have Nimrod's fists, which he has a closed fist for the left and the right, simple hinge mechanism for in and out on both, cast in this kind of pearlescent white. We have this translucent effect that plugs into his back, so just has these kind of wings with a little bit of sculpt on them. We have two blast effects that plug into the open palm hands. These spirals are affixed to it, so the blast hands are not able to go full 90. They do plug into the hand just fine. For Nimrod, we got an extra head, which is his more classic look with a pink face. There's some painted detail along the back and the front. Plugs in via ball on the bottom. For Psylocke, we got a reissue of her hand effect, which has more purple in it, as compared to last time where it was a very bright pink. Tying into that effect, we got an extra closed fist for the left hand. Utilizing both those accessories, it plugs in just fine, though you do end up with it kind of at an angle, so you kind of have to pivot the fist to make it straight on her wrist. We got her little butterfly kind of psionic psychic effect, which has a lot more purple in it, as compared to last time when it was almost entirely pink, and plugs onto her face just fine, though mine sits a little crooked. Which leads us to her sword, which has the removable little swirly effect. It's more purple than it is pink this time. There it is without it, and there's the effect by itself, which, as you might have guessed, last time we got it in just straight pink. Same accessory, only this time it has more purple in it, and I like the look of the new one more. Just putting that out there. And the sword fits in the hand just fine. Here are the two Psylocks with all their effects attached. You can see the more purple on this side and the clear pink on this side. And just for shits and giggles, there's the two color swapped. That way you have an idea what they would look like if you chose to do so. Doing a quick side-by-side with Psylocke. They share the same body, though the paint and plastic have changed colors. She's much paler in the new release, and the paint on the face has changed quite a bit. Her eyebrows are now purple where they were black. Her eyes were blue, now they're now black. The lipstick color has changed. The hair stayed the same in terms of sculpt, but the color has changed. Where the original was a very glossy, just purple, the new one actually has more of a matte color, and it has light purple kind of going into dark blues and purple, other than a black splotch there on her hair for some reason. And the belt has changed. She now has a white belt with the X-Men logo where it was this kind of red free-floating thing. This one is technically free-floating, but it's snug. It's not going anywhere. Otherwise, it's just paint that's changed because it's a different costume. But since we're talking about Psylocke, let's go ahead and kick off articulation with her. Because of her hair, that's all the further she can look up. She can look down that far. Because of her hair, when she goes side to side, it crashes into the shoulders, which kind of limits it a little bit. She has tilt. Shoulder spins 360 with no problem. Comes up well over 90. Single joint in the elbow comes up past 90. Elbow swivel. We have wrist swivel and wrist pivot in and out. She leans forward that far. Leans back that far, which is basically not at all. She has a little side to side. Swivel. Kicks forward at a 90. Doesn't really kick back at all. Kicks out that far. Thigh swivel. Double joint in the knee comes up that far. Ankle goes back, forward, and ankle rocker. Which brings us to Phantomex, who by and large has clean paint except for like spots right there, and most of his whites match, which is good. I do have a slight warp in the elbow here, and unfortunately when this was glued on they didn't go far enough forward, so I do get a lot of white between his wrists. Otherwise, it's a pretty clean figure, and some reuse, which we're pretty much used to at this point. Like, we've seen the trench coat before, we've seen the body before, we've seen these annoying things down at the feet before, we've seen the gloves before. But let's go ahead and go over articulation. Because of the trench coat, that's all the further he can look up. He can look down that far. He gets side to side, almost no tilt to speak of at all. Shoulder spins 360 with relative ease, though if you're not careful, it just crashes into the coat. Comes up to a hair over 90. Bicep swivel. Double joint in the elbow comes up that far because the glove crashes into the bicep. We have wrist swivel, and both wrists are trigger hands, so they hinge up and down. Standard ab crunch in the waist allows him to go forward that far. He can't go back because of the trench coat, though we do have some nice designs on it. Swivel in the waist. Kicks forward to just under a 90. Hardly kicks back at all. Kicks out that far. We have a thigh swivel. Double joint in the knee can bend that far, but because of the trench coat, when you bring it back, it kind of bunches it out. Otherwise, that's about as much as you get. You have to kind of feed it through the split in the back. We have a boot swivel where these annoying things love to fall down. Ankle goes back, forward, and ankle rocker. And that leaves us with Nimrod, who has some limited articulation, in that there's nothing in the head or neck, because it's just a peg, which gives me the opportunity to switch out to the head that I prefer. Shoulder can spin 360 with no problem. The shoulder pads are attached on the inside of the arm to a ring that goes around the shoulder, so they spin with it. Also, if utilizing the accessory on the back, which plugs in right there, it's clearly going to hinder articulation of the shoulder, so you'll crash into it going one way or the other. Shoulder can come up to a hair under 90, which gives you an opportunity to see that ring that I'm talking about right there. Bicep swivel. Single joint in the elbow comes up to a hair under 90. We have wrist swivel, and the wrist pivots in and out. Though I wish they'd given us the Iron Man treatment and just given us the wrists molded back like that, so that way the blast would make more sense, but anyway. Dumbbell joint allows him to lean forward very slightly, lean back just about as much. Not much in the side-to-side department, some swivel. He can only kick forward that far because the legs crash into the crotch up here, so if you rotate it, you can get him to kick out that far. Kicks back, basically not at all, and he kicks out to hardly a 45. We have a thigh swivel. Double joint in the knees come up almost all the way though. Ankle goes back that far, doesn't go forward. We have a little bit of a swivel there, and a tiny bit of rocker. And just for fun, something new I'm doing. If I find a figure that I think reacts to black light pretty well, I'm going to show it to you. You can see Phantomex completely whites out. Nimrod pretty much stays the same, just kind of whites out, but hand effects catch a lot of the black light and look really cool. And Psylock, really only her effects light up, but still, I think it looks really cool. And that's really all I got for today. Again, I'm utilizing my DC flight stands. I wasn't really looking to replace Psylock, but I'll probably do a head swap and take her parts because I like the head and the parts off of her better. I didn't have Phantomex, now I do. I'll put them on the shelf for the rest of the X-Men or the X-Force. And Nimrod. Definitely didn't have a Nimrod. Happy to add him. I like putting all my villains on a shelf together, and he's really going to pop because you know, all white and pink and stuff. So to me, the price tag I think was like $80, something like that. So it's a little expensive, I think. But we do get a lot of accessories, and for me, I got 2 characters I didn't already have. That's kind of how I justified it. But let me know down below what you think, which Nimrod head you would use, which of the 3 is your favorite. Did you buy this pack or are you not going to buy it? You know, let me know why. And if you like what you saw today, all that asks is that you click like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to help me out, and I very much appreciate it. I do thank you for stopping by today. So, until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.